Good morning, Ratman. I'm your regular human host, Che, and joining me is my soulless abhuman co-host, Corgi.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Today's episode is brought to you by rats. I forgot to say that last week. It was kind of rushed. Whenever I forget, the rats threaten my family. So be sure to visit our sponsor. Keep in mind, you don't find them, they find you. And an apology to our sponsor. That sponsor being rats. Meant to do this last week, but as I said, it was a bit of a rush. But just want to shout out NOS2342. They didn't do anything at all. But if there was, say, some sort of joke where we established a thing that's been there the entire time, which we didn't, I would have appreciated that they went back and edited every comment to acknowledge the thing and comment on old videos they hadn't already commented on, which I would have appreciated, as that is a commitment to the bit akin to what I would do. But I'm not saying that. I would say that, but I'm not. Because there was no joke, we didn't do anything, and NOS2342 didn't do anything.
And the joke, which never happened, wasn't even funny to begin with.
If there was a joke, it was hilarious.
Agree to disagree.
I just don't think you like comedy.
No, I don't. I'm a very stoic individual. Never laughed a day in my life.
That's not true. Anyway, also, last week's episode was a mini-sode that was about 10 minutes shorter than a full-length episode, and I feel like this episode is going to be similar. This is also a mini-sode. Check the time. Is it actually a mini-sode?
Let's be honest with ourselves. It won't be.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a mini-sode with us, because I ramble quite a lot.
We managed to stay on topic really well in the previous episode. And
yet we still made it.
Yeah, it just ended up being a really long episode.
Story of our life.
It's also just how I go about research. Instead of like, I'm going to read like 3 books, like 50 pages for this. It's just like, granted, it's heavily condensed pages. This is just like, well, I started on the wiki and then being me, I'm just like, fuck it, I'll read Liber Xenologus. So then I read Liber Xenologus. Anyway. Neat part about this episode is it's possibly some of this will be the only fan art any of these guys get, or at the very least, one of very few.
One of an amount.
Yeah. Anyway, abhumans. Corgi, what's your guess on what an abhuman is, considering you kept insisting before this episode started that they were related to the gene stealer cults, and I kept telling you they weren't.
No, they're only related in that that's what the gene stealers were pretending to be.
They're not even pretending to be. People think they're abhumans and don't pay the gene stealers any mind.
Abhumans are just mutations. Just mutated people who deal with radioactive shit every day.
No, that's a mutant. But yes, but
mutants? No. Wait.
Mutants are people who have a stray mutation, right? So from some mutagenic material like radiation or what have you.
Uh-huh.
Abhumans, on the other hand, are also mutants, but where one is a genetic deviation. Abhumans are a stable mutation that is widespread enough to be considered its own species of humans.
I hate to say this, but like a cat girl?
Yeah. Okay. So, the Imperium, right?
Yes, the Imperium.
Yeah. Hella racist. They have the saying, suffer not the alien, the mutant, nor the heretic to live. So generally, if there is a mutant, gotta get murked, which puts abhumans in an awkward grey area. Because they are mutants, but also kind of not.
There's enough of them that you can basically be like, oh, okay, that's just another mutation of rat people. Guess they're going into the rat people abhuman class or whatever.
Yeah. Some of them get to be considered imperial citizens. And the rest... not a good time. But even the ones that are accepted, pretty poorly treated. And officially, they have no souls.
Well, how dare you? Does that make them ginger? Haha, original joke, that's definitely not outdated.
Yep. Now, officially, meaning in the Imperium, not in law. They very much do have souls. But the Imperium is like, nah, soulless.
Well, I've never seen it, so meh.
There's some good dialogue in Dark Tide specifically about it, because the Ogryn is an abhuman, And
Oh, yeah.
The preacher is like, yeah, you're a soulless abomination. And then I think the veteran and the psyker are just like, nah, he's got a soul. Fuck you.
Yeah, screw you, man.
Anyway.
He's just as much real as the rest of us.
Officially, there are 73 recognized abhuman strains, with 46 being extinct and 12 being unaccounted for. The assumption being that they were either wiped out or bred back into the human population. They Neanderthal themselves.
Of course.
Which, for those counting, leaves 15 abhuman species kicking around.
Only 15? And
Yep.
what are they?
I'll tell you now. This list is about 25 long.
20 what?
25 long.
25 long.
Yeah, I finished writing and I'm like, this was more than 15. Granted, some of them are extinct and some of them are like in a dire, but no, it doesn't tell you which of them are the 15 that are like kicking around. There's an extra 10 on this list. But
15 asterisk.
yeah. So, as far as abhumans, we got Homo sapiens gigantus, or Ogryns.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Ogryns. They really need new models.
Yeah, they do.
We are currently in 10th edition Corgi. The last Ogryn models are from 6th edition. That's their models.
I'm sorry. It just looks like heavy from TF2.
Yeah, I think the Bulgryns have newer models. They, at the very least, they look cleaner. That's the Bulgryn model.
Yeah, that one's cool. I like that. Very pyro.
Yeah.
Is it raining outside?
Yeah, good thing we're doing this now before the storm hits. It's storming the entire week for me.
God, what did Queensland do this time?
As far as I'm aware, it's not a cyclone this time.
This time? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, what?
Oh, at the beginning of the year, there were 2 cyclones that hit far north Queensland, which meant we had like 3 weeks of just non-stop rain.
Damn.
Shout out
Also,
to Southeast Queensland Life. Just every summer there's a cyclone, and then it's just like, I guess it's raining for a week or 2. Hope it doesn't flood. Shame we live on a floodplain.
Also, this is just for future you. No, I don't know why I drew that.
Okay.
You'll understand in the future.
Be sure to mark it so I can put that specifically in the episode.
Trust me, you'll know.
Okay. So, Ogryns, they...
Thigh-high boots.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. They evolved on harsh worlds with high gravity. Interestingly, it says worlds, not a world, implying Ogryns are a case of convergent evolution.
Sorry, convergent?
It's, you know how everything returns to crab?
Convergent.
Yeah, and the entire species of
Inevitable.
fish. So it's not, there is no such thing as a fish, right? Fish as a species.
Please don't start going with the fish aren't real thing.
No, yes, they are real. But fish as a species are as genetically diverse as like most land mammals, yet they all share similar characteristics, which they evolved independently of each other, which is convergent evolution. It's 2 things evolving the same trait while not having a common enough ancestor for that to be relevant.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Like cats and dogs having tails.
Yeah. Like how human beings have the coccyx, which is the tailbone.
Yeah, but we at least evolved from animals that had tails. It makes sense.
True.
Versus 2 animals that are, barely related, because all animals are to some degree related. But 2 animals that basically aren't related, evolving tails.
Evolution, baby.
Evolutionary science. It's fun until it's not.
Just like most science.
So, there are several different subspecies, being Alpha, Theta, Type 4, Type 7A, H.S. Gigantus gigantus, which is probably Homo sapiens gigantus gigantus, and Gigantus...
Sorry. Repeat the alpha, theta, what?
Alpha.
Yeah.
Then there's another subspecies, Theta.
Then
Type 4.
Type 4.
Then Type 7A.
Type 7-A?
Just A.
Oh boy. Yep.
Then
7A.
Homo sapiens gigantus.
Homo sapiens gigantus.
And then Homo sapiens gigantus chronopus. Don't worry, it gets better after this.
Homo sapiens what?
Gigantus chronopus.
Gigantus chronopus?
Yep. And then the grey Ogryns.
Grey Ogryn.
And there are also societies of feral Ogryns that the Imperium looks at and goes, not worth it, and just leaves them to do their thing. Also, it does not explain what the difference between these Ogryn subspecies are. It does, however, say that the grey Ogryns are mysterious.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me Alpha Theta Type 4, Type 7A, Homo sapiens gigantus, Homo sapiens gigantus chronopus, grey Ogryns, and feral Ogryns? This isn't Abhuman categories. This is just Ogryn categories.
Yeah, this is Ogryn categories.
Fuck.
And we don't know what any of them are, but then, I was reading the Libocynologist, and it was and the mysterious grey Ogryns, and it's you haven't explained what any of the other are. They're all mysterious. What the fuck are you talking about?
What in the taxonomic phylum is this?
Anyway, as you know, Corgi, because you played Darktide.
Uh-huh. They're good boys. Very strong.
These motherfuckers are tall, standing...
And big.
2.5 to 3 meters tall, or 8 to 9.9 feet. They are also dumb as shit.
Well, so am I, but, we don't hold that against me most of the time.
So, they have a tendency to be used for menial labor, which means a lot of them are quite strong. Because of this, they are perfect soldiers. The Imperium love them. Too dumb to question orders, and big and strong so they can handle some heavy weaponry, and above all, they love the Emperor. Super zealous guys, these Ogryns. Now, the smartest of the Ogryns undergo biochemical Ogryn neural enhancement, also known as bone, and become boneheads.
I hate that, but I also love it so much.
And they lead the Ogryns into battle.
Hey, you managed to fucking read a word. Guess you're gonna be captain of your squad. Whoa.
The bone also makes them smarter. So boneheads, they pick the smartest Ogryns and then make them smarter with bone. And then they become the boneheads and then they command the squad. Also, they make pretty good servitors, which is depressing.
Oh, giant heads. Wait, do they even have brains?
Yes.
Just very teeny tiny ones.
And lastly, there are Ogryn psykers. Apparently, there are some artificially created in Necromunda, but there is a character in the Gaz book I read. That episode will probably come out once I get back from my holiday. Called Cassia.
Cassiopeia?
No, just Cassia. They assume, due to the Cicatrix maledictum, the singular thing in Warhammer that I love saying. There's so many names in Warhammer that are dumb as fuck, and Cicatrix maledictum is up there, but it's fun to say.
Yeah, Cicatrix...
Cicatrix maledictum?
Cicatrix maledictum just sounds like a fucking skateboard move.
Yeah, so many times...
Yo, check out that dude, Cicatrix!
So many times when you're reading about it, it'll just say the Great Rift, and then I just rewrite it as the Cicatrix
Great
maledictum.
Oh, I would have read it as the Great Rift. Them with giant guitars.
But the Cicatrix maledictum has, in general, caused a psychic awakening the galaxy over. This has extended to the Ogryns, but the thing about Ogryns is that the Imperial cult is very clear. They can't be psychics. So, they can't, they're too dumb. So, when Cassia's powers manifested, saving the Commissar, it was the Commissar's duty to make sure that the Imperial cult's version of reality stayed true, so she was sentenced to be executed. But...
we saved the city, Patrick, and you're dead.
Yeah. Wow, thanks for saving us. It was a mighty fine amount of heresy you did, though, so... sorry.
Them's the breaks.
But the commissar ends up giving her to an inquisitor, where she is then given general free reign on the ship. Her intelligence grows, which it's not supposed to, and she teaches herself to read, which she's not supposed to be able to do, and write, which they are not supposed to be capable of, and started a journal, where she writes in calligraphy.
Oh, Jesus.
So, most likely, there are plenty of psychic Ogryns out there, and whenever they show up, they just get Lennied.
Just get what? Lennied?
Yeah, Lennied.
Nice.
So, to keep reality in line with the bullshit the Imperium peddles. And people still don't think the Imperium are the bad guys. But Guard are getting a new codex next year and new models. They're getting an entire Krieg army, which will be cool.
A what?
Krieg army. Death Corps of Krieg. Or Death Corps of Krieg. The cool thing about the Guard is every planet has its own, or, sectors have their own unique version of Guard. And Games Workshop went, oh boy, I bet you guys really like Cadians. And then they only ever sell Cadians. And only now, they used to sell more. And then they just became increasingly more Cadian. And now they've made a Krieg kill team. They've got the Arabic horse riders now. They brought them back. They've got new units. And that's about it. But with getting an entire Krieg army, they seem to be more open to the, hey, maybe we shouldn't just make Cadians. It's almost like the Cadians blew up, so maybe you have more of a reason to not just exclusively make Cadians.
Come on, man, spoilers.
But hey, don't be surprised if one of the new models is Ogryn psykers. They do, in fact, exist.
I don't know why, but for some reason, my brain completely forgot what a psyker was. And was just like, is that some kind of rock star? So now I'm just imagining an Ogryn with a giant fucking guitar just jamming out.
Like a noise marine?
Excuse me. Noise marine.
We're alive. This is Corgi finding out what noise marines are.
You're not about to tell me there are fucking space marine bards.
This is a canon
Because that just
model.
makes me think of Mad
This
Max.
is a real
the
model that Games Workshop sells.
I need that in my fucking life. I was expecting something like this, but no, it's even better than what I anticipated.
Usually that is exactly what they look like. But they made a noise marine model that is kind of not that. This is what they usually look like.
I love it. I also love the assault rifle mag in it.
Yeah, that's usually what they look like.
Oh, I love that. I hate their mouth, though.
Yeah, it's a speaker. Their mouth is a speaker.
I don't like that, but everything else is cool.
They make so much noise that it's like loud and fucking deafens people.
Oh, so I wouldn't be affected.
Yeah.
Anyway, so does that mean that you could technically have a battle of the bands in the Warhammer universe?
Probably. Anyway, back to not talking about noise marines and actually what this episode is about.
Which is noise marines. Surprise.
Yep, this whole thing was about noise marines. We also got the Warriors of Turok. Separate entry on the wiki, but they're related
Torbeck?
to...
Did you say Torbeck?
Turok.
Oh, I don't know why I thought I heard Torbeck.
They are a separate entry on the wiki, but they're related to Ogryn, so I don't know why they did that. Anyway. Hey, moving on, but like still on the Ogryns, kind of. Some of this comes from the Liber Xenologus.
What?
The Liber Xenologus, which is a real book, but it's presented as an in-law book. So it's a real book within the 40k, but you can buy it and read it. The in-universe writer is talking about how stupid Ogryns are and how they take everything frustratingly literally. And he went to inspect prisoners being watched over by Ogryns during a campaign, and an officer who didn't know enough about Ogryns saw the rider approach and commanded the squad to present arms. So the Ogryns proceeded to rip the arms off all of the prisoners and give them to the rider.
Oh, God.
And it was the most brutal thing the guy saw during the entire campaign. He also notes that it's pretty easy for Ogryns to turn heretic because you just tell them that the Imperium are bad with a tiny bit of authority and they go, yep, okay, you the boss.
You the boss, man.
But the upside being a lot of heretics underestimate the stupidity of Ogryns and noted one time a rogue commissar commanded the Ogryns to cover him. So the Ogryns dogpiled him and crushed him to death and they were confused after the fact by the order.
Why did he die?
Why did Atman or us to crush him?
He's dead.
Anyway.
Now we listen to it, and then that's just how they end up. Like, anyway, I can't get over the fucking earrings. I'm sorry. In the noisemaker.
The noise marine.
Yeah, because he's got hoops on. So I just imagine when he's like super upset, he just puts down his guitar for a moment, removes the hoops, hands them to this massive space marine who's just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to fucking do with this. I don't know why they have accessories. And then all of a sudden you hear the most horrifying guitar solo you'd ever hear. And that's how they win, because they removed the hoops.
Right. I sort of zoned out during that story, so
I listen to you when you ramble, but you won't listen to me when I ramble on our podcast.
I got distracted by the second picture of the noise marine I sent, and just like, that's the extent of the power that they're using, is he's destroying Necrons with the noise. Like these living metal machines, he's playing a guitar riff that is so loud that it is melting their metal.
And all you're hearing is Charlie Brown's Teachers.
Yep. Something about hoop earrings. Anyway, speaking of models, next, we've got Homo sapiens minimus. Also,
just dwarves?
Nope. Also known as the Ratlings. Or, to themselves, halflings. They just got a whole new kill team.
Hang on, I know these ones. These ones are the ones that you want on your team because they're so fucking skilled at sniping. You're just like, I want one. I want one.
I want them to add Ratlings to Darktide. So they got a whole new kill team and a dog. Look at the dog. It's in the bottom left.
Puppy! I would die for that puppy.
Is that puppy wearing a... Oh, no, that's just a regular bandolier. I thought it was wearing a fucking...
Bomb vest?
Yes.
That's a squig. The orcs have a sort of... It's not a dog, but like it functions very similar to war dogs, but they strap bombs on them and blow them up from time to time.
What the shit? I don't care if this is war. That's too far.
They don't look like dogs. They look like bouncing balls with two little legs and a giant row of teeth.
Oh, chihuahuas.
Yeah. Well, those have 4 legs. Anyway, these little klepto pricks are around 1.3 meters or 4.2 feet.
Oh, my size.
Yeah. They allegedly came into existence from incest, inbreeding on soporific climates, and abundant harvests. So, in other words, they're space Tasmanians.
Nice.
Soporific climates, meaning it makes you sleepy, which you can attest to, Corgi. When it was 39 degrees, it's easier to sleep than do anything.
It really is.
Space Tasmanians. So,
keep the fish away from them.
They just kind of physically stunted. They are just kind of like the embodiment of gluttony. They just eat till they are sick, drink extreme amounts, and just fuck all of the time. Again,
hobbits.
Space Tasmanians. They are generally pretty friendly people. Kind of obnoxiously so. And really solid cooks. Because they just fucking love food.
Me too. Oh no, doesn't make me Tasmanian.
No. Their eyesight is pretty good, which when combined with their size makes them really solid marksmen. And that's usually what they serve as in the guard, alongside cooks.
Cook marksman.
Yeah. In
one hand, a soup ladle. In the other, a 50 cal sniper.
Yep. Their size also helps the fact that they are kleptos. Me calling them kleptos is not an exaggeration. They are compulsively stealing all of the time. And if you need something that you're not supposed to have while in the guard, or just extra food, you can get it from the Ratlings. They will have it.
Shifty little bastards, I love them.
Just like space Tasmanians.
Except these ones are actually useful.
Yeah. I wonder if they are also the opium capital of the world. Tasmania, opium capital of the world.
I can't even say that surprises me.
I got the statistic wrong. I thought it was 40% of the world's legal opium comes from Tasmania. It's 50. I did not give the
God.
Tasmanians credit for the sheer amount of opium that they pump out. Shout out to Tasmania.
No, don't give them credit for this. It's not something to be proud of. Well, no, I can't think of a justification.
All right. The Guard generally doesn't really like using them because they are weak as fuck. And you can probably just find a marksman who's just as good, who won't be drunk all the time, trying to be your friend and then steal all your shit and be Tasmanian. You could probably, like, it says that they're not as important because, like, a lot of the marksman shit is just inbuilt into the guns. So the gun can pick up a lot of slack where like, otherwise Ratling would have come in handy.
I'm just disappointed they're not actual little tiny rats.
Yeah. Oh, they're just rat-sized. Next, we got the Homo Navigo, or Navigators, or stolen straight from Dune.
Still haven't read or seen it.
You should watch it. Reading, there's a lot of books.
Well, I do have the book on my shelf.
Yeah. Now,
Under the first one, though.
Now these weirdos are the only abhuman that aren't discriminated against, kind of. I just realized I don't have a picture of a navigator. There we go.
Oh, wood.
Yeah, she, that's a character from a game and she is romanceable. So you absolutely could. Rogue Trader.
Rogue Trader.
Yep.
Adding that to my wish list right now.
It's a classic role-playing game.
Oh, damn, $70?
Yeah, it's new. It came out last year, I think.
130 hours.
They don't know how these weirdos came about, just that it was prior to the Psychic Awakening and during the Dark Age of
Can
Technology.
you remind me of the Psychic Awakening? The Psycho Awakening, I mean.
It was when... I want to say it was when Slaanesh was awoken.
Before or after being imprisoned?
That's the wrong franchise.
Oh, I'm thinking of Nagash. Oh,
No, you're thinking correct, but that's the wrong franchise. Age of Sigmar, Slaanesh is imprisoned in Warhammer.
Right.
Slaanesh is imprisoned. I don't 100% can't accurately say when the Psychic Awakening was, but I am pretty sure it was when Slaanesh was awoken. Hold up, when was... Yes, M29, which would have been the Psychic Awakening.
Oh, right.
I think.
So it was just a side effect of Nagash waking up.
Slaanesh.
Slaanesh, sorry.
Fucking... I don't know, it seems like... Okay, so there's the Psychic Awakening from the Cicatrix Maledictum, because that also caused the Psychic Awakening, but like when the first human psychics show up again towards the end of the 22nd millennium, which is like the initial Psychic Awakening.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's just when psychers started appearing.
Okay, right.
Because psychers used to be around, and then they stopped being around, and then they came back again.
Sort of just like, well, this thing happened, and now they're everywhere.
Yeah, and now there's even more psychics that are appearing after the Cicatrix Maledictum, because a lot more warp energy is spilling out into the galaxy. They might have been created, the Navigators, or they might have evolved, but it's generally assumed they were created. Now, their whole thing is they have a recessive gene to have a third eye in the middle of their forehead. So, the Navigators...
Hopefully not as badly done as that one fucking Doctor Strange one, which seriously still haunts me.
So, the Navigators have to breed with other Navigators to keep their species alive, being that it is a recessive gene. Now, the third eye functions like a normal eye, just vision and shit. However, much like Scott Summers, it can also have a little portal inside.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yep. Punches from the Punch dimension. Anyway, a tiny little warp gate, and through that, they can see the warp, or the closest approximation their mind can handle, being that the warp is kind of fucking wacky.
See Event Horizon for more.
I love how all the ways you can describe the warp, and I just went with wacky.
Yeah. Just proper wackadoo.
Here's a fun fact. Sometimes the eye is within the skull, and they need to do a little trepanning to get it out.
Ugh, surgery.
Yeah, fun. Now, this warp eye is very important because it allows them to see exactly where they are in the warp, allowing them to safely guide their ships through the warp. Hence, Navigator.
Navigator.
Yeah. I considered doing a whose boat is that boat and showing you a picture of an eye, but I already wrote this and I couldn't be asked rewriting it. Anyway, that's all.
Whose boat is that boat?
Yeah. Anyway, that's all for Navigators. There's a fuck ton of information about them, being they are one of the most...
What are they on the rating of the waifu scale?
Depends how fuckable a third eye is on your attractiveness scale. Also, a lot of them are kind of like low-key inbred. Yeah, but like they have a glowing third eye in the middle of the forehead. Like that picture that
you can see better in the dark.
That picture that I showed you, that's an eye in the middle of her forehead.
Yeah, I assumed that was like a folk eye.
Yeah,
as in like
yeah,
glasses.
I think it's a cover because it doesn't have
the redness
eyelids, so it's always open. So they usually cover it.
God, just blink, blink.
Yeah. Anyway, the Navigators are one of the most important parts in 40k world. They will likely get their own episode because there is so much information about them.
What? I'm down bad for powerful women.
Yep. Who isn't?
Right.
I look forward to when we do the Sisters of Battle episode, and you're just going to be so horny on man. Anyway.
When am I not?
Yeah, when are you not? Now, Homo sapiens maledictus, or, yeah, that's that, right, or Afriel strain. This one's weird.
Also known as demons?
This is one of those, like, this is a recognized abhuman, this doesn't sound like an abhuman. Like, technically, yes, but at the same time, no. They are basically the DNA of the Imperium's greatest heroes that they chucked into people, hoping a eugenics race of atomic monsters, atomic supermen with octagonal-shaped bodies that suck blood out of the... Anyway, jokes aside.
Viltrumites. Viltrumites.
No. They... You haven't watched that at all?
No, but I do know that Viltrumites
yeah, because I mentioned
planet conquering
it in a other episode. Anyway, they just really want to eugenics heroes back to life, which not how genetics works, but okay.
Of course it is. You get a little bit of dead person DNA, chuck it in a blender with a baby, and boom, Gandhi.
Look, I'm not saying I'm smarter than an AdMac, just that I probably am.
Oh, that's a very low bar then.
The idea was to create faster, stronger, more smartier Marines. And
smartier?
Yep.
Alright, scientific term.
And much like seemingly with every time they fuck with genetics of a thing, they have all of those, and extremely bad luck, and albinism. Don't know why the albinism came in, but they've got that. No, the albinism doesn't happen much to other people. I do think there is an albino Space Marine Legion somewhere. I don't remember which one they are, but they kick around.
Probably the vampire one.
No. They just have paler skin. But they do have a tendency to show up, crush it, because they are better than regular Marines, and then all die.
Not so good now, are you fuckers?
So, next, we've got Homo sapiens varietas, or Beastmen.
There are furries, I fucking knew it.
No, these are goats. They used to be much more of a thing, look like goat men, fought for the Imperium and all that, and now usually show up in chaos. Lore explanation, the Imperium hate them now, and they are persecuted. Real reason, GW made fantasy beast models that were kit bashable into 40k models, then they stopped doing that, and if you like Guard, I really hope you only ever want to make nothing but Cadians, as we discussed earlier. Fuck, there's a lot of Cadians. Though they are getting non-Cadian models, which is nice. But hey, also Beastmen just got like a whole Kill Team box set. So if you want Beastmen, hey, Kill Team.
Hell yeah.
But also if you want Beastmen in 40k, get a 1,000 Suns box. It'll have Zangors. Yeah. So many Zangors. You can never have enough Zangors. Half a 2,000 point army can have 120 Zangors. You're not allowed more than 120 Zangors. The fucking cowards. Just...
Zangors.
Yeah. You could... Zangors.
Any relation to Mangors?
No, Zangors. They're Beastmen, but blue, and have bird heads.
Love that.
Yeah. And they're in every Thousand Suns box.
Does someone just really like them?
There's a lot of memes about why is Thousand Suns just made of Zangors. It's like, well, we could make new models to flesh out a Thousand Suns army, or we could just give them more Zangors. Or always need more Zangors. You can never have enough Zangors. Next, we got, I didn't save a picture of this one, but we got House Goliath. They come up when we do Necromunda stuff. They basically look like Ogryns. They are sometimes vat-grown superhumans, though some are natural, and the natural ones live longer and are smarter. They are an abhuman gang that are dumb, live for a short period of time, sometimes crazy, and are big. Sometimes bigger than Space Marines, kind of like Ogryns with extra steps, and are in a gang.
We have Ogryns at home. Ogryns at home.
Yeah, they look dumb, by the way.
Yeah, Ogryns always look dumb, but we love them anyway.
No, just like their design. It's funny seeing like the newer Necromunda models and being like, holy shit, these are fucking awesome. And then you look at the older models and they're like, wow, these suck. These were like, what if we just put in so many feathers and plumes on people, and then we went, it's a gang.
Like from my first episode.
Yeah,
The lizard.
They'll come up. Next, we got Matt Murdock, also known as Homo sapiens tenebris, or Night Sider.
Hell yeah.
They grow up on reverse nightfall planets. There's a book, I read books, where the planet is always dark, or on the dark side of a tidally locked planet, or just like
pitch black. Sorry.
Yeah,
Pitch black.
Pitch Black's inspired by Nightfall. But,
That's so cool.
but yeah.
Sorry, did I just throw you right off?
No, it's a reverse Nightfall. So the point of Pitch Black is it's always daytime. And then, but because of the cycles of this rotation of the planet through the sun, there's a 12-hour nighttime, which is also,
bat people.
that's the plot of Nightfall.
So they're just cute little bat people.
Not really. Side note, Pitch Black is one of my favorite films. I don't know why, it just is. It's a damn near perfect film. It's really good.
So good.
So, some of these planets are on the dark side of a tidally locked planet, or just nomad planets, that being planets without stars. See, I know science stuff, big science stuff. Smarter than an AdMech. Now, they usually have giant eyes, or no eyes, but those with eyes have tapetum lucidum, a layer of tissue behind the retina of the eye.
Which is what cats have.
Yes, and dogs, and a lot of pseudo-nocturnal animals.
Yeah.
And that allows enhanced vision in the dark. They also use echolocation, have enhanced smell and hearing, and can also glow. The guard likes to use them in night operations because they see in the dark, and generally just fucking hate them because they look weird. They also have transparent skin sometimes. Think deep sea animals, or those animals that exist solely in an isolated cave system.
Ugh, don't remind me of the... What was it called? I've forgotten. You know that 2-part movie that's
Yes.
pretty damn good?
Yes.
The Descent, I think?
Yes. I haven't seen it because I don't watch horror, but I have watched some of the director's other works. And he did a really good film called Dog Soldiers. That's actually a horror film, but it's real solid. And then he did some of the best episodes of Game of Thrones.
Ooh. Did he do Hodor? Like Hold the Door?
No, his whole thing was they would bring him in to direct episodes that were just like, we follow one character the entire episode and it's a battle. So he did the Watchers on the Wall and I want to say Blackwater Bay, but I don't think that's right. The one where Stannis invades King's Landing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I loved that one.
Yeah, that was his thing. I think he did another one as well. I think he did Hard Home, which is a fantastic episode as well, but he might not have done Hard Home. Anyway, Scalies. Remember how we said we'll get back to lizard men? So there isn't much about them. They just kind of exist. They're from Necromunda, and they look kind of like lizard men. They're strong, can regenerate lost limbs, and their scales act as armor. Their models are hella fucking old. Hella old. Here are the pictures of their models. Look at them.
Jesus.
Look at how old these models are.
God, those Weirdos are older than I am.
They can't really talk because of the mutations effect on their neck. Gangs really like using them. Because they're big and strong and they're armored naturally. And they just kind of reminded me of Trandoshans.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's a Star Wars thing.
Oh, right.
Yep. You're going to have a field day with this one.
Go on.
Next, we've got Homo sapiens deformum, also known as subs.
Subs?
Subs. Now,
Send me a model so I can already
They don't
drop
have a
ball
model.
gag on them.
they don't have a
Damn.
model. Subs
No ball
are
gag.
a stable mutation that is so fucked that the Imperium tends to just try and kill them all. So,
Jesus fucking Christ, kill it!
yeah.
What?
So you have these entire subcultures hiding in the shadows of society, or rather in the shadows of society. When the Imperium does use them, they only ever use them as cannon fodder. Here are some of the listed mutations that they might have. Skin that looks like rusting metal. Head sunk so low that the face peers from the chest. Limbs that writhe like serpents. And eyes that radiate dazzling light.
Just rusty fucking dumpsters.
They also do often get by quite well on their home worlds. Because these aren't stray mutations, their mutations do actually serve a practical purpose. It's just once you take them away from that planet, there is no further purpose. And they just become these useless, weird little freaks that the Imperium's like, gotta kill them.
I'm afraid I don't know any way to draw that because at the moment I'm still just thinking about fishmen.
Fair enough. Interesting note about subs is that they are pretty fucking zealous, and they just really want to fight to prove their loyalty to the Emperor and redeem themselves in the eyes of the Imperium, who just does not give a fuck.
It's like, oh cool, you slayed that entire faction for us.
Yeah.
The Emperor's real proud.
As I said
Please leave,
before,
you're making me want to throw up.
Thanks for saving us, but you did an awful lot of heresy doing it. Sorry, I guess you're gonna die. Except in this case, the heresy, well, the previous heresy was the nature of your existence, and this heresy is the nature of your existence. But one of them was like a psychic manifestation, while this one is just, hey, you exist. I don't like that. There's nothing specifically wrong with your existence. I just don't like it.
If I had a damn nickel, I'd have 2 nickels. I don't want to talk about it.
But the author of the Liber Xenologist.
The what? The Libo?
Yeah, the Liber Xenologist. Remember the book I said that I was reading that's an in-law book?
You read a lot of those.
I literally brought it up earlier in this episode.
Already forgotten.
Fucking Christ.
You brought me in here to draw, not to fucking think.
The books that I read are not in law. They're external law explaining the law to a fan. This is a book that is written by a fictional character within the law about their own experiences within the law. But it also exists in the real world and you can buy it.
Oh, I get it.
Yes. So the author of that book that I read notes that there are a lot of them across worlds in their subcultures. And a lot more of them than the Imperium realizes. And because they are super zealous, the attempted purges might push them into chaos. Then you start a revolution across an awful lot of systems and ring a bell that cannot be unrung. He, specifically notes of, I don't like these guys and I totally get why we're just killing them all, but I think killing them all is a bad idea.
Yeah, kind of like trying to kill a Skaven. Guess what? You kill 1, 2 more pop back up. What are you gonna fucking do? They're everywhere. There's more of them than grains in the desert realm.
Yeah, he's very much more of the, I think it's worth it to permit their existence. I don't like it because I'm a racist, but I think the alternative is much worse. So, next, we got Homo sapiens Verantis, or the Troth.
Like a pig trough? Like where they feed from?
No, Troth. Troth.
Like toff, but with an R in it.
Yes. They seem like tree men, is the best I can get from it. They live on a singular planet, I believe it was called Verantis, and have a symbiotic relationship with their forest. Flesh tough as oak, and their digestive systems can extract nutrients from the earth. Whether that means just like they absorb it or eat dirt, I don't know. They also
All of the above?
might not exist. It's from the Liber Xenologus and is a second-hand account, and the guy who wrote the book hasn't met them and got the information from a slave trader and specifically notes he can't verify if it's true. Next, we got Homo sapiens elongatus, or Longshanks.
What? Longshanks?
Yes, they are from worlds with low gravity, so they grow to very large sizes, which makes them kind of useful in the guard because it takes less energy to walk everywhere and they can just shoot over their squad and over enemy cover. However, they are also just giant targets, so not all good.
Yeah, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. There was a note on the wiki about how a bunch of them got captured and used as slaves by orcs. And then they got saved by space marines. And it's like, yay! And then it was the Black Templars. And it's like, oh no.
Oh.
Black Templars are the worst. They're actual crazy people.
Aren't we all? Not as crazy as them, though, if I'm vaguely remembering right.
Compared to who? Sorry?
I don't know. When I think of crazy and space marine, I just think of the ones that think they're sanguineous.
Well, see, they have like an actual mental illness.
Which isn't even just a mental illness, it's just a fact.
Yeah, it's they have a problem with their genes that drives them crazy. And they live a psychic scar. Where the Black Templars are just like, hey, what if we just killed everyone? What if, hear us out, we killed every single alien and mutant and abhuman? And what if we just actively broke the law to do it?
Full on heretics.
Yeah, basically. They basically are heretics, but they're so, like, obsessively zealous about the Imperium that they're just like, yeah, we're okay with this, even though the Codex Astartes specifically says, hey, you can only have 1,000 Space Marines. And then, you know, most of the ones that don't follow the Codex are just like, we've got a couple hundred extra. Whereas the Black Templars are like, hey, it says that we're allowed to replenish our ranks indefinitely and have a theoretically unlimited amount as long as we're crusading. So we're just going to crusade forever and never stop a crusade. So there's thousands of us.
Yep.
Neat. That's not how that's supposed to work. You fucking psychopaths. Terrible people. Absolutely terrible people.
But at least they get things done in the eye of...
Yeah. I've delayed it long enough, Corgi. But did you know that cat boys are canon to Warhammer, Corgi?
I fucking knew it. Your silence earlier was telling me that you're hiding something. It's fucking cat boys. God damn it.
Now, Homo sapiens, hirsutus, or Felinids, or cat boys.
Thank God.
They come from a world, specifically one world. Do you want to take a guess at the name of the world, Corgi?
Hyacine. No, that's the fucking hunting god from Skyrim. Please tell me it's something stupid like Catboy Land.
Oh, it's something stupid, but I will give you 3 guesses.
It better not be like Necroville.
That's one guess.
Hirsutia?
That's another guess.
Felonious Feline?
No. It's called Carlos McConnell.
What?
Carlos McConnell. Catboys for the planet Carlos McConnell. You know when you read something and you're like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever read in my life? So I tried to find why it's called that. There is a meme that it's named after a rogue trader. It isn't that. That's a meme. Though I saw some people espouse like it was actual truth. Like, oh, it is actually named after Carlos McConnell. What's his story? And everyone was like, he's not real, dude. But my guess is maybe it was named after a staff member as a joke. But I couldn't find that.
Yeah. For all those who grew up with Scooby-Doo, that just makes me think of
most people?
The cat people from On Zombie Island. Do you know the ones I'm talking about?
I haven't watched Zombie Island of Scooby-Doo.
Then you missed one of the best stories. Because it was so weird.
I've seen that gif.
Yeah, they're just cat people.
Yeah. Anyway, cat boys, no one knows anything about them. The character in the book has never met them, though was once offered the remains from one that was actually a human with animal skin sewed on. And their Kroot friend, who had fought them, was a racist, and all humans looked alike, so he couldn't describe the difference. However, he did say they had claws as long as human forearms, to which the writer was like, yeah, nah, I don't believe you, but I'll write it down.
Allegedly. I just imagine a lot of allegedlys when they're writing that.
Yeah, there was some of that. Next, we got Homo sapiens Hyathonus, Hyenothus, or Neanders. They're big.
Neanders?
Yep, Neanders. They're big, strong, and dumb as fuck. Limited language and intelligence, are good for assorted strength and combat-related duties.
I'm literally just imagining a Neanderthal door.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was just Neanderthals. Next, we got Homo sapiens oceanus, or Pelaga. They can breathe almost any liquid, pressure resistant, don't get floppy in atmospheres of one, iron tough skin, the guy whacks one with a sword and it does nothing, gills and scales, and they are Ogryn level big. They are fucking enormous.
So, shark people.
Not quite shark people, but they are giants. They're not small little guys.
I love them.
Here's a quote, context being abhumans that were stable and tolerated that have fallen out of favor. Recent examples include the sickle-headed drapans of Azetium 4, the shape-shifting amphi of Lamprey, the blue-skinned lazul of Garganus Prime, and the Thrix, with their famed lethal plumage.
Just imagine giant peacock.
I'm envisioning worm people with the Drapanese. The sickle-headed. Just like little worm heads.
Ugh.
So, the wiki lists Sathala as one. I checked the source and read every mention of them, and the best I could gather is that they're actually just primitive humans, and I don't even think they're abhumans. Moving on. We got stilt limbs. Now, it doesn't explain what they are, but I reckon I could make a pretty well-educated guess and be damn near dead on the money, because I, in fact, know what words mean.
Don't say combine harvester.
Why the fuck would I say combine harvester?
Stilt limbs. I just imagine, like, gangly arms, gangly legs, human body. Sort of
What
like
the
that one.
fuck does that have to do with a combine harvester?
Am I thinking of the right thing? I don't think I am.
No, clearly not. It's a truck with a
Not
big
that one.
fucking... That's what a combine harvester is.
No, I'm thinking of from fucking Half-Life.
Oh, I've never played Half-Life. Shut up.
Oh, fuck. I have to look that up. Hold on. I was thinking of a strider.
Okay. Fucking combine harvester. Jesus Christ.
Shut up. Yeah, they look like combine harvesters. They go around on the farmland. Just,
You know what? Shame Cube. This is Shame Cube worthy.
No, let me out.
Anyway, next, we got Katara. She helped the Avatar defeat Fire Lord Ozai. And were a species of abhuman, not is, were, during the Horus Heresy. They were tall, sunken-eyed, and thin. Same. And they weren't even wiped out. Like fools, they staked their entire civilization on a duel with Space Marines. The Space Marine won, so they all killed themselves. Fools!
Well, guess we lost.
Yep.
You know what that means.
And then, Thug Rock Goliaths. They all died. Very little information on them. They started a cult, and then the Imperium sent 6 Eversaw assassins. Those are the crazy ones. To wipe them all out. And then the guy was like, yo, we really could have used those guys. Why the fuck did you kill them all? And then they were just like, get fucked.
Emperor said so. Fuck you.
And that's it. That's every abhuman we know of. Anything to say, Corgi?
Shark people.
Yeah, it's not
Hobbits.
Yeah.
Satyrs. Hot women who would absolutely destroy you with psycho energy.
Yep. They're not all the navigators are women.
Well, yeah. In the wise words of a video essay I'd recently watched, you just can't rub 2 clits together and make a baby. Doesn't work like that.
Weird.
But you can try.
Okay. Anyway, I also lied. There is, in fact, one more. But I do want people to know I did consider just not mentioning them at all, because it would have been fucking hilarious. I cannot begin to describe how funny that would have been. And then if anyone was like, hey, why didn't you talk about them? Why didn't you talk about these guys? I would have just responded with, who? Never heard of them before. I think you're making them up. Would have been great. Would have been fantastic. But I fought against my better nature and relented to be boring. Though we'll do some episodes of them another time, so it will be brief. Lastly,
Go on.
Corgi, we have your people. Homo sapiens rotundus.
Oh, fuck you. You are not... I swear to God, if those are like the fucking gnomes who are chubby, I'm gonna beat you to death with your own shoes.
Also known as squats.
Fucking little... Welcome to the last episode of the podcast.
I can cut this joke if you want.
I'm gonna beat you up.
I'm so funny. So, squats were a short people born on high gravity worlds. They used to be super common. They had entire armies, but then the Tyranids showed up and ate their homeworlds, and they were thought extinct. But they're back! But in small, scattered groups, mostly as mercenaries or miners, as their ancestors were miners, and the Imperium liked using them in underground engagements. Can you guess who the squats are based on?
Dwarves.
Dwarves! Anyway, there is, however, another group called the League of Votan, which, in canon, no one really knows what their deal is if they are abhuman or xeno, but they are almost certainly an offshoot of the squat species, or quite possibly the squats are an offshoot of the Votan. Either way, they're abhumans, and humanity doesn't really know too much about their existence. They'll get their own episode, was supposed to be out by now, but I just moved around my schedule, and will not be finished before I go away. Oh, also, Corgi, before we finish this episode, I have a question for you.
If you're going to ask how tall I am, it's 5'5".
No, the question is, whose boat is that boat?
You said we weren't doing it!
I said we weren't doing that specific one. Whose boat is that boat?
I don't fucking know. Hold on, let me look at my notes and just point at a random one. That belongs to the Tenebris.
No. You want to try again and be a bit more context specific.
Please don't tell me that's the dwarf one. Don't tell me that's a squat ship.
I don't know, maybe. Stay tuned for the Votan episode and you'll get the answer. Anyway, we're finished now.
Send help.
That's the end of the episode. Do the like, share, comment, subscribe thing, hit the bell thing, especially the comment thing. I like seeing what you guys have to say. You can follow me at che.ratman, that is che.ratman, on Instagram to see the models I am painting slowly. I've built some, just need to start the painting process. They're all primed and ready to go. Right now, I'm working on a mounted Claw Lord. Corgi, anything you wanted to say?
I want to go home.
You are home.
Fuck. I want to go double home.
Okay. Anyway, goodbye.
Bye, everyone.